All right. Let's get this going. All right, welcome back. We're here for some more Perilous Badlands using Shadowdark, and of course for our oracles and such stuff within the Solo Game Master's Guide. Haven't really been needing to use it too much, but we are back on our journey with almost forgot my characters' names. Tamra and Morgan, hailing from the village of Vorn, a desert village, off way down here in hex number 93, way in the corner, within the Forsaken Dunes and the Flaming Sands, where they were cast into a position of criminality, if you will. And this was due to the fact that Morgan, a pit fighter, an underdog at that, was banished, cast out for supposed crimes, and have not figured out if this is going to be true or not. But the story and the narrative have dictated that it has become part of the issue, part of the story right out of the gate. So that's what we're doing. To short recap of the previous session of mine, I had the characters running through the village of Vorn, ducking and weaving, and Tamra, unfortunately, unsuccessfully trying to deal with the guards, and also, unfortunately, dealing with the spells and only being able to cast Protection from Evil, which is currently up, and she's focusing on it, on her spouse, Morgan. Rather, they are engaged. Sorry, they are engaged. They are not currently married. They are engaged. Tamra is a human shaman, which is a wizard, and Morgan is a human underdog, which is a pit fighter. The last fight, Morgan was beat literally within an inch of his life. His max hit points is 11. He's currently at 1. Tamra is fine. She has taken no damage so far. I have given them 3 XP for finding the Ashen Staff of Blood. It is a +2 attack and damage staff, where it has a gain 1d6 HP after slaying a creature with this staff, and must burn a straw doll once a day or lose the magic within the staff. And the description is rusted, burnt, and chipped staff, and its worth is 200 gold pieces. So that's how much they can sell it for. But this was the item that ended the scene in the last session, and we open up now in basically within a crawl space, a sandy crawl space underneath a portion of the town that both, I gotta put this somewhere, that both, where is this? There we go. Oh. What is this? I love that. I don't recall this at all. Oh, right. This is my Ironsworn game. Got it. Okay. So we got the Ashen Staff of Blood, and they are basically on the run from the guards, or at least for the time being they are safe from the guards, because they had found a way to dig in this small kind of area and are able to get a breather. What I'm going to say here is I think my characters want to go into a space and then eventually get some rest. They're going to be resting out in the resting is something that random encounters. I really wish that I had resting is not going to be here. Man, here we go. Turns and rounds. Luck. Okay. I know there is a spot for resting out in the wild. And I do have my main oracle here and my difficulty class reminder here. So I'm gonna hopefully not forget to apply those when I need it. Running the game. Oh, come on. Why am I struggling on finding the resting out on the wild, right? There is a spot for that. Overland travel down to, that's travel per day. Yeah. We're not doing overland right now. Resting, geez. Page 86. Injured characters can rest to recover from their wounds. To rest, a character must consume a ration and sleep for 8 hours. Sleep can be broken up. Campfire. Deadly. Additionally, some talent. Sneaking, detecting surprise. Okay, so this is regroup. Yep, conditions crawling. They're effectively crawling. And I know I'm taking a lot of time for my real-time thing. I am going to have... I know they have a way to... Okay, so they can cover all... Okay, so resting does not gain a health, but I will say that turns in time, blah, blah, blah. Rations per day. So it is still the same day as when we first started the adventure. And the main thing is that we need to generate where they are. They're crawling underground, and they are definitely going to probably run into something, and we don't know that yet. Okay, mishaps are on page 110. That might come into play. Here we go. Fatality, grinder, deadly, chaos, blitz, hunter, momentum. Okay, I see. Momentum. I see. Got it. These modes of play might be interesting as a soloist. That's interesting. Yep. Cool. All right. So what we need to figure out is where does this sort of crawl space lead to, right? Because what we have here is the town itself was built upon itself, right? So I'm thinking that oh no. I lost track of something, but I guess that is how things go. Okay. We have to figure out where they're going. Now, I didn't really figure out, so they ended up somewhere in the town, But I'm thinking that they're probably going to be crawling toward maybe this large structure. I'm actually going to ask the Oracle here. So I'm going to roll a D100, and because they were dipping and diving around the village, just trying to get out and finding a way away from the guards. I'm not gonna. It's not likely or unlikely. I think it's just a 50-50 because they don't know and I don't know. So it is a 50-50 chance that they are going to be crawling into this large structure, which is most likely top of a ziggurat or something like that. We don't really know. We'll see. So 95. So definitely not. So they're not going into this space, but they're probably going underneath the village proper. And that being said, let's see. I think we might be creating some sort of dungeon itself. And I wasn't really prepared for this because last time I did a dungeon, I knew what was coming up. And so I had tiles and everything. And currently the tiles are put away and stuff. So what I think I want to do is on this empty page here is I want to sort of create a Shadowdark dungeon. And there are rules for creating a Shadowdark dungeon using the book. I've used this book to create various things. The hex maps I created here. I've created the overland hex map is phenomenal, and even the settlement maps that you see in here, even though they're small, I would use them on an actual piece of paper and then just scale it down to fit on this grid so I can put it into this paper. And I would roll, and then I would transfer this information onto this for the settlement stuff. So I think I'm going to do the same with the dungeon. So we're going to go to the page 130 to roll or choose a site size and type. Then take the number of dice listed for the dungeon size. Note the position where each dice fell. Cool. Draw an outline shape to form the site's shape and separating the rooms. Cool. So we're going to create a Shadowdark map on the fly as the main part of this session, most likely. Okay, so I'm going to put, well, let's see. I think I'm going to put my thing up here and then this down here. And then if I need it, I'll just put it like that for people to see. Okay, so one thing we do need to see is how big it is. So let's roll a d6. Let's just roll a big fat d6. It is a 6. It's a large site. Ooh. Note, okay. Then take the number of dice listed. So we're going to take 12 d10s. Okay, I'll be right back. 12 d10s. All right. I have a big old bag, of course, dice. And let's just get a bunch of d10s, shall we? This is so funny. Ooh, I like this one. I'm going to just be completely sidetracked today, aren't I? Oh, you know what? I have a lot of d10s here. One, 2, 3. And actually, I could even use the percentile side of this d10 as one too, because I think these are the same. 1, 5. Let me just see that. Oh, it's not. 1, 7. 1. Wait, hold on. 1, 7. 1, 5. Oh, it's not. It's not the same. 9. No, it's not. Interesting. That is interesting. So 0, 0, and 0, 6, 0, 2. 0 is next to 2 and 8. How about this one? 0 is next to 8 and 4. What? Uh-oh. I'm just realizing that some of my dice aren't made equal. I know technically it's not a big deal, but I know that the odds should be, yeah, see, like 1 and 0 should be opposite of each other. Or 0 and 9. 0 and 9. I'm confused. It doesn't matter. I'm just doing this. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. 6. 7. 8. 8. I know I have 8. 9. And then I know I have one more. 9. 10. Okay. And then 11. That means I must have the other one. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There we go. So 12d10. Holy crap. Okay. So 12d10, obviously the large. Oh. Oh, I fell. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is move that over there. Oh, okay. And then on my sheet here, I'm going to roll these. This will be fun. I'm going to roll these. And then note the position while each die fell. Draw an outline around the dice to form the site's shape, separating the rooms with walls and passages that match the dungeon's type. Okay, well, let's roll the site type as well. Ooh, okay. So I'm just going to loosely move things around just so, there we go. And let's roll the site type, which is a D6 again. So cave, tomb, deep tunnels, or ruins. We got a 1, so we got some sort of cave. So we have caverns and natural formations underneath. So they probably they probably ended up at the edge of the village and are digging into a cavernous space deep within the edge of the village toward the outskirts, so toward the sands themselves. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. And so the overall danger level, let's roll for the danger level 2. We got a 4, which is risky. Okay, so I'm just going to write in this top right here, it's going to be risky, and it is caves, right? Caves. There we go. Risky caves. And then on the D10, we have all of these room types. So first, I'm just going to, because it's caves, thankfully, I'm going to just kind of outline some of these like this. And honestly, you could just use a larger piece of paper to do this. But I am a big fan of my journals. My wife got me a new journal that I'm very excited to use soon. Can't seem to find it now. Can't find anything today. So I'm gonna. So right here is 9. Right. Here is 2. Here is 2. This is 4. This is 2. Ooh, we got like a lot of 2s right there. This is an 8. This is a 5. This is a 0, I think is, 10. Which I think is like the biggest thing. It's like a monster thing. And that was a 3. And that is also 3. That's 9, which is 9. And then 2. Okay. So we got this area, right? And now what I want to do is sort of create natural sort of walls and stuff that go in between everything. So I'm just gonna do something like this, and I kind of want to kind of feel the natural sort of areas that these actually create, right? And I'm thinking that area is pretty big. There we go. This is pretty big too. This is probably fairly small. There we go. Okay. So we have kind of these broken up spaces. Now, as per rules, like, because I'm using a lot of theater of the mind in my games, I will only need general, like, locations and rooms and stuff. Because my characters aren't crawling in the general map sense in the grids, but I like to have a sense of scale and how far away things are. I kind of like the idea of this coming in really close like that. So we got these areas. So each of these blocks or globs are those regions. So let's go and write down each of the room types. So 9 here is treasure, okay? So this is treasure. This is a treasure room. 2 is empty, okay? So this is empty. So 2 is empty. We have another 2 down here. We have quite a number of empty, and then empty. Okay, so 4 is minor hazard. Okay, so minor hazard. 8 is a major hazard. Ooh, major hazard. Okay. 5 is a solo monster. Okay. Monster. 3 is a trap. Trap. And so 9 is also treasure room. And 10 is a boss. Boss monster. Okay. So I think that we have 9 and now let's number these in terms of I'm going to erase the number because I know now what they are. And this is risky. So I think it's every 2 rounds that we'll be checking for random encounters. 5, 10. So getting rid of the numbers here because I'm going to put new numbers as, the number of the... Okay. I kind of want to see... So we have... This empty room seems the most logical spot. And I'm going to say that this is how they come into the space, is this way. Okay, so this is the entrance, right? This is the entrance. So we're going to, this is going to be number 1. This will be number 2. This will be number 3. This will be number 4. This will be number 5, 6, 7, and then 8, 9, 10, and then 11, and then 12. So what I'm thinking actually is that this treasure room because it's next to the boss monster, is going to be separated from everything else. So I think 1 is going to be connected to 2, right? 1 is also going to be connected to 8. 2 is going to be connected to 3. This all makes sense in my head. So, 2 is next to 5, and then 5 to 6, 6 to 4. I'm also going to say 6 to 7, and 6 to 9, and then 9 to 12. And let's do 9 to 8. Then I'm going to say that 9 to, let's see, yeah, let's do that, and then that. So the dungeon feels kind of linear a bit, but there's enough like weird areas. And remember, this is a cavern space, and so I'm just using these blobs as what's the room, where the room is. The number is just the number to reference. And obviously the empty, the minor hazard, those are all the things that are notable about the room, and the connection lines are the connections with that room. So 1 can go to both 8 or 2. Even though it does border 5. I might roll, there might be a secret door or something like that, and then we can create one or something like that. So what I can do is, as we travel through, we can create what's going on. Now, I didn't realize that we were going to be creating a Shadowdark map itself. So I think what I want to do is call this something. The caves of something, right? Like, let us call it, I know there's like an adventure creator or something like that. I can't remember. Adventuring site names. So we know that it's caves of the, right? It's caves. So caves of the, so let's roll 2d20 and let's roll to see what we see here. 15 and 8. So caves of the forgotten, and then 8. Caves of the forgotten depths. Ooh. Okay, so this is the caves of the forgotten depths. Depth. Oh my god, depths. Caves of the Forgotten Depths. Cool. And it's risky. So I'm going to write risky. So D6 every 2 rounds. Yep. And then roll on caves, which is page... Let's see, the caves are on page what? Oops. Market, caves, should be right here. Caves are on page 148. So I'll roll on this table to kind of populate it. Roll on page 148, 148, 149. Cool. So I know that while I'm traversing this, I will, yeah, cool. So what happens next? So how many? There are 10? Yeah, so there are 10 locations then. Yep. No, there's 12. So what happens next? So we enter into this empty space. Thankfully, this first room is empty, but I kind of want a description of the cave itself. And so what I kind of want to do is, there are no, Ooh, treasure details. Hidden, guarded by monsters. Oh, I like that. Boss monster. That's cool. Type, site. We got this stuff. This we will roll as we figure it out. I had a good book to help me describe the cave, like what the I can't remember what I was using, but I'm assuming that it is very sandy, very dusty, and until the narrative says otherwise, we come into this space, and it is extremely like dusty and filled with sand, right? And we have to use a torch for sure. I'm marking off this torch anyway because of the session. So I think actually it's probably going to be, yeah, it's not going to be Morgan. It's actually going to be Tamra that is utilizing her torch today. And so we have our first bit of like calm as Tamra and Morgan step into this new space. And Tamra goes, I don't like the looks of this, Morgan. You know, we're not ready for this. You are hurt real bad, and I am fairly tapped out. I have this spell on you, as you know. It will make sure that things are certain enemies, those of chaotic beings, will have disadvantage to hit you. And Morgan goes, and he's looking really rough. He's at 1 hit point, and he goes, "It's okay. I've been in worse scraps. I'll be all right. Besides, what did you pick up there?" And he points to the staff. And Tamra goes, I don't know. I will take a moment here. Why don't you take a moment and rest while I take a moment and check? So here's the thing. I'm going to do a couple of rolls here. I'm going to roll. I think I did this in my last campaign. I can't remember, and I can't remember my rules that I did this. In the game For Against Darkness, there's a rule called Rest. And you can, if it is empty and there are no wandering monsters. Now, just like in Shadowdark, you do roll for wandering monsters. In this game, it's just random encounters with a d6. And on a 1 or 2, something bad happens in For Against Darkness when you rest like this. Thankfully, I just need to roll continually as long as they are resting. And so I'm thinking that Morgan can, because of his ability here, he can resist injury and poison and make it the con check that unfortunately he can't resist physical damage being done to him. I don't think. I think it's anything that deals with like poisons, extreme environments, and things like that, which makes sense for a pit fighter that is born of the sands, right? But he can use his flourish ability to gain a d6 on a hit in combat, so he can heal himself while he's fighting. And I envision it less of a vampiric sort of thing, but more like he's emboldened while he's fighting, and he's literally stitching his cells together on that level in combat. So he thrives literally when he's fighting things. And I have ideas that I'll get to if it happens, or rather when it happens, if and when Tamra or Morgan bite the bullet. This is only the second session with them, but as we have seen, and again, spoilers for the previous short campaign of my Shadowdark series, this game is pretty brutal. Even if you're trying to give them the best, the best possible, chance of survival. So I think Morgan is going to rest, and they are in room 1. And so I'm just going to write that they are resting and identifying in number 1. Okay, so that's what they're doing. But in that time, what I'm going to do is, it doesn't take long for Tamra to know what this does, but she does have to sit sit as a spell. Now, she will learn that it's a magic staff right away, so she knows it just by holding it because she's a wizard. I will also allow her to, on a successful intelligence check, that she will have advantage on, just because she can learn, and I'm going to put that DC on 15, just like when she learns spells. So she will have a DC 15 to identify the other abilities. Or unless she, and if she doesn't, she'll know that there are some sort of other magical properties that she can't identify, and she'll have to try again the next day, or find out by using it. Just like, this is how I do a lot of magic items with even players, is that I don't necessarily tell them the entire text, but I give them opportunities to figure it out before they use it. So I'm gonna do 2 rounds worth of checks, as that is the time that she wants to rest and identify. And I'm going to allow Morgan to heal himself by making a medicine check, which is, I also could do Constitution, since he does have. You know what? I'm gonna house rule. He can, instead of healing a D6, he can heal a minimum of 1 on a short rest, but it's gonna be a D4. And so that's what we're gonna do here. So he can do that, but it's like once every so often. He can't spam it. And this is just something I feel, for me as a soloist, it makes it feel he's a little more resilient, but still these animals, the monsters in this game, can hit real hard. So let us roll for the advantage for her and his healing. So he heals 2, and 2 and 2 on the 2 rounds that it's taking, and she rolls a 16 plus 2, 18, which is better than the 15. So she learns that it is definitely a magical item, and she learns that it has a benefit. But now the most crucial one is that she knows there's something else there. But the second round, 12, because it's still with advantage, 12 plus 2 is 14. That does not beat the hard DC of 15. So she knows that it can heal after slaying a creature. But aha. So this is what's going to happen. She goes, Morgan, take this. And she tosses the staff over to Morgan, whom I believe, as a pit fighter, can use all weapons. Let me just double check that. Weapons, all weapons, yes. Cool. So he might actually take the staff, because Tamra says you might gain health out of this. So Morgan is going to add that the magic items Ashen Staff of Blood. Now, she doesn't know that after this day, it's going to go away. But she knows there's something else up with it. So, but until further notice, we are going to assume that they understand that Morgan can use it to attack and gain hit after slaying a creature. So, in conjunction with slaying a creature and his natural flourish ability to gain a d6 on a hit, that's kind of powerful. He could in theory regain all of his hit points in one hit, as long as he also kills his foe. So we rolled for the 2 rounds that they rested for, and now they got a decision to make. Are they going to go into room 2 or room 8? Now, the narrative says that they're just trying to get away, and right now I think they want to get as far away as possible. So knowing that these are their rooms for me is kind of hard, so I think I'm just going to roll north or south. So odds, they go north, or rather they go northwest, or evens, they go south. Odds, yep, so odds, they go north, they go northwest, so they go, and they wander into another cavernous space. More sand, more grit, and that's that 1 round. So they spend some time searching this room. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them see if they can't find anything. And I'm actually going to ask the Oracle, is there anything in this empty room? Empty room meaning that there's nothing of note, but there might be odds and ends that might be useful to them. There might be a ration, there might be a single piece of cloth that they can use, but we don't know. So let us roll a D100 real quick. And I'm going to put this as unlikely because of the nature of this place. These caves of the Forgotten Depths underneath the village of Vorn in the hot, sandy region known as the Forgotten Dunes. So it's just, I don't think there's going to be much here. So 25 or less, 83. So no, there's nothing helpful here. They searched, so that is 2 rounds. So now we're going to roll a 5. So they do not, there is no wandering encounter here. There's no random encounter, rather. So they see that they can go south or north from this location. So 2, and then room 2, nothing found here. Then room, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's go north, just because I'm interested in this treasure room, and I like to complete a space first. So let us go into the treasure room and let's roll to see what's the deal with the treasure itself. 3. It is guarded by a monster. So they come in and I'm going to roll up the monster first. So let's see room 3. Treasure with monster. Now the monster, it says, is guarding the monster. So let's roll on the caves table and, modify it to make sense and scale it down a little bit. A lot of these are definitely scaled for a party for more than two players. So let's do caves. Let's roll a D100. And let's see what we see here. That's D20s. Come on. What? Wow, I am losing it a little bit today. I'm not finding... Where is my... There it is. D100. Got a 33. 33. Ooh, something interesting is going to happen. 33. Kobolds. Ooh. Wait. Didn't we have this the last time, too? Okay, so we got some kobolds here. So kobolds are definitely a cool monster to run into. I like kobolds. Oops. Kobolds. Okay. All right. Ooh, yuck. Puny scale coyote lizards that dwell underground. Okay. Okay, so it said that there's going to be some... So let's do monsters. And this is going to be kobolds. And how many of them are there? It said... I'm going to cut the number in half, so let's do a 2d4 instead of 3d4. Ooh, 7. There's going to be 7 of them. Ooh, yuck. That's awful. That's pretty bad. Times 7. 5, 6, 7. And they each... Oh, they're basically like minions. They have 1 hit point. Huh! Okay. Okay, so, and then AC is 13. Okay, so this feels much like a kind of a swarming situation here. So there's some kobolds, and I'm anticipating that maybe this is their treasure room space. Now, can we see what the treasure is? Is it out in the open or is it in a box? This is a question for the Oracle. I'm going to say that is because of the nature of what this room looks like, this might be an actual like cavern space that they're all gathered, and it's in the corner of a space. So I'm going to say it's likely that it's out in the open. Like there just might be gold and stuff out in the open that they've piled somewhere. So let's do 75 or less. 96. So no, it's not in the open. So we can't roll to see what the treasure is. We don't know that there is treasure in here. Outside of maybe there is like some sort of chest up in the northern area. So I'm going to write kobolds right there with treasure. With treasure. Okay. Kobolds with treasure. And I have my little 7 circles with AC 13. And they do D6. Yeah. So they do D6. Ooh, yuck. Their strength is -2. Okay. So, they only make 1 attack each. But, we come up, and immediately I think both of them want to hunker down. And I think they want to make a stealth check. Both of them aren't horrible at dex, but they're not great. And thankfully, they're not wearing any armor that hinders them. Tamra's not wearing anything except, I'm envisioning Tamra's outfit is a bunch of strapped leather that's more like a decorative, like spell weaver that taps into the earth for their energy and likes all of her spells to have a tinge of that like sandy yellow orange feel to it. And Morgan here, I think he's going to from afar use his blowgun, because a blowgun does 1 point of damage, and that's all that they need to die. So he's going to they're going to make a stealth check first. So they're going to make a couple of dex checks. the black one is going to be Morgan, and this one is going to be Tamra. Ooh, okay. So Tamra is natural 20 and a 7. So 7 plus 2 is 9. Again, I forgot to set the DC. Let's see. Let's hope. Let's kind of wipe my brain of that for a second. 7 kobolds. What are they doing? Let me roll to see what they're doing first. Activity. Roll 2d6 and see, and this will help me. I'm going to move this 20 for Tamra and the 7 for Morgan. Let's roll 2d6 and see what they're doing. They are nesting and building. That makes sense. So they are busy with the treasure, and maybe they're moving stuff around. Maybe they just found this place. I like that. So I would say, because of everything, this would be easier to do than not. So with that, between Tamra's natural 20 and Morgan's barely succeeding on that, they're able to sneak into a position where they would have surprise. And I believe combat surprise in the game, I don't think there's a true page 228. I'm going to write 228 on this before I forget. Page 228 for the kobolds, because I always forget where everything is. And I'm looking for... Oh, wow, my brain just stopped. What am I looking for? I am looking for kobolds, treasure, no, activity, building, nesting, their morale. Oh, wow. I just drew a huge blank on what I was trying to find. Oh, yeah, sneak stuff. So combat. I need combat stuff. Turnover time, crawling, stealth, and surprise. Might secretly roll a check. Yep, knowledge. The outcome impacts the situation. Yep. Okay, so 7. Creatures can't hide while other creatures are able to see them. Yeah, of course. Detecting. Surprise. Has advantage. If combat hasn't started yet, those with surprise take 1 turn before combat initiative. Got it. Okay. And a creature has advantage on attack rolls. Attacking from hiding gives away right. Okay, so here's the thing. The blowgun has a special property. And the blowgun is a weapon that was introduced in the Cursed Scroll Zine number 2, Red Sands. I am loving this particular one. I like this one a lot. Okay, so the new weapons are, here we go. A blowgun, properties. Firing this weapon from hiding doesn't reveal your position. Yes! Okay, so this is awesome. I loved that I had him pick up a blowgun. So we have Tamra and Morgan, both of them trying to be as quiet as they can, and I envision that there is a crag in the darkness space. In fact, they're going to kill their torch as they see the kobolds there. But the kobolds... Oh, shoot. Hold on. Let's see. Let's gamify this a little bit. They're holding their torch. And the one thing I don't like about... Not that I don't like this about Shadowdark, is that, for me, my head says, I understand why the kobolds can see in the dark. That's fine. But when you're doing sneak stuff, you're going to have to snuff your torch. And that just makes obvious sense to me as a GM. And as a soloist, I think that's what's going to happen. So they snuff the torch and they find that spot in, and that's what makes it easy for them too. So they find a spot in, but they have surprise, but they are at a disadvantage. And I know that that's what that means. Whenever you are darkness, let's do Yep, has disadvantage on tasks. Also, the environment becomes deadly. Right. So, past, if they continue on after this encounter without any rolls, it'll become a deadly encounter as a deadly crawl as opposed to a risky crawl. I think, yes, they're definitely going to douse that torch. So I'm going to have to try to remind myself to light up another torch or cross off another torch here. But in the darkness, he has a disadvantage to hit them, but he has advantage because they're surprised and they don't know where he is. So he has one roll. So it is a ranged attack, so he gets a +2 to this roll. So he's going to load his little dart and he's going to poof, try to hit them. And I think Tamra can't really do much. She has a dagger that she could throw, but she's not going to do that. 12 plus 2 is 14. Their AC is 13. One drops. And because it's a blowgun, it just drops. Poof. Now, technically, they have been surprised, but they still don't know where he is. They are alerted, so I'm going to have them make a check immediately to try to find them. Now, they can see in the space just fine. Kobolds, 228. 228. 228. Come on. Here we go. So their wisdom is 0. Okay, so they have no but they have disadvantage on hitting him, right? Or compel. Okay, cannot possess or beguile. Okay, so rolls versus the target. Okay, so if Morgan is found out, they have disadvantage because they are chaotic beings, but they're going to make a as a whole, I'm going to do this for the entire group. So they're going to make a wisdom check just to see if they can't see anything. 18. Yikes. So I'm going to have them... Oh, but that natural 20 hiding. Oof. Okay, so how would I do this if I was the GM? That sneak roll, there was a natural 20 and a 12. And they rolled an 18 to spot where Morgan came from. Now, here's the thing. Morgan rolled a 12. Or rolled a 9. So I'm going to say that they spot Morgan, but they don't spot Tamra. That's how I'm going to rule that. So they spot him. And so now it is initiative. So now we're going to roll initiative for each of them. This is Tamra and Morgan. I'm going to refresh myself on how combat initiative works again. Sometimes, I've been playing other games too, so I'm trying not to... I was trying other things. Everyone makes a dex check and uses the highest dexterity modifier of any monsters. The person with the highest... Right, okay, so I guess I have two options for... I have two opportunities for the PCs to go first. Tamra and Morgan to go first over one of these guys for the kobolds. Kobolds roll a 14 flat. No. Kobolds definitely get a dex bonus. Hold on. 228. 228. They have a dex of +2. So that's a 16. And that's this is dex is 14 and a natural 1 for Morgan. So unfortunately the kobolds go first. The kobolds do go first. All right, so we got the kobolds coming first for us, and they don't see anyone but Morgan. So they're going to try to attack Morgan. Now I'm going to roll a bunch of times, and they have to hit. What is his AC? His AC is 15. Yes, 15 because he has his shield, and he's in partial cover. So yeah, okay. So let us roll for them. Oops. Actually, so they all can't be able to hit him because they all can't crowd around him. So I'm gonna say 2 of them can get right up next to him, and the other ones, they might throw the spear. Yeah, one might throw the spear, so he can get 3 attacks in onto him. That is, so 1 hits definitely with a 15 exactly. So 1 hits. 6 plus 0 is nothing, and then 14 plus nothing is 14. So only 1 hits. Like the one of the spears come flying through over 2 of the kobolds who are charging forward, and does hit for a d6 of damage. Now, if he takes 4. Okay. All right, he's down to, oh wait, actually that's exactly the amount. So he's taken 11 damage. He's dropped, but he can. Oh wait. Oh, interesting. Flourish. I believe it's only on a melee hit. Oops, wrong book. I think Flourish is a melee only. That makes sense though. Melee. I am aware that my time is basically up, and they've been, this is a moment in time. Hit points. When you hit an enemy with a melee attack. Okay, so he can't gain health on that, but he can make a Constitution check to get back up to 1 hit point. So let's make him do that, and he has advantage on this because it is a con check. Ugh. 15 plus 3 is 18. DC 18 con check, yes. So I'm going to mark off that he used that. And he goes from 0 hit points, and he gets hit by the spear, and it yanks it out of his neck, and he's like pissed off, and he is ready to pounce back. So I think I got to end it here, unfortunately, as much as I would like to just keep playing. I do want to try to keep my sessions at around the hour mark, as not to just bog a long video session, right? So I will wrap it up there with the kobold's turn is over, with them charging the charging Morgan's space, and he just got hit, and he gets up, and it's about to be their turn, and he definitely does not have the initiative. It's Tamra's turn first, so we'll begin the next session with Tamra, then Morgan, fighting for Morgan's life, really. He's at 1 hit point in the caves of the Forgotten Depths. But until next time, folks, I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.